Brie Larson and her co-stars from the miscreant Marvel's movie are on their way back. That is the exclusive scoop we have here on the channel, folks. Get ready because we're finding out the MCU might not be over after all. They're heeding the call, bringing the Marvels back to the Avengers movies and maybe dooming the MCU. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel that continues to change hearts and minds, one video at a time. And today we're back into the role that we, I guess, made us in the beginning as a scooper, as a leaker. And we are going into rumor and speculation territory because we're going to be discussing something that is a future product, something that's not done. And yet we have a source telling us with confidence that the Marvels, all three of them, are coming to the Avengers movies. The announcement in the future, not yet made. Folks, we're here to tell you this could be one of those things that lets you know the MCU still is not coming back. It's been snapped, and that's that. Click the like button. We'll explain. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. Every MCU actor that has not been cast in Avengers Doomsday.
Oh.
Now, this is not the exclusive, okay? We're going to get to
In other words, it's easier to mention the ones who haven't than the ones who have because there's so many chairs on that stage.
Yes, indeedly doodly. Greg Evans is the author out of independent.co.uk. Says every MCU actor, you get that. Tom Holland, Ryan Reynolds, and Brie Larson have not been confirmed for the film.
This was as of the 18th.
And exactly. It says the official cast has been announced for Avengers Doomsday with numerous big stars returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and several others making their debuts. Among the major names confirmed during the 5.5-hour stream were Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Anthony Mackie, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Tom Hiddleston, Florence Pugh, and Paul Rudd. The biggest surprise was the announcement that many X-Men actors will be debuting in the MCU for the first time, and I dare say, folks, spoiler alert, probably the last time. Those names include Ian McKellen, James Marsden, Rebecca Romijn, and Alan Cumming, Patrick Stewart. Channing Tatum has also been cast after previously making cameos in MCU films. Now, it goes on to talk about people that you would expect, but who have not appeared. Tom Holland, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Mark Ruffalo, Tatiana Maslany. You've got, and folks, we're not going to read them all, okay? I will tell you that Halle Bailey will not be appearing as Storm. That is not surprising because it may come down to contracts and budgets and all of that. Okay. Folks, I've got bad news for you if you were hoping to save the MCU or the MCU. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here exclusively to tell you that from a source, although we are entering, and we don't do this that much anymore, but we're entering into rumor and speculation territory, according to a source I have, but cannot fully verify. But according to the source I have, it's not just Brie Larson that's going to be in these Avengers movies. Folks, I'm here to tell you exclusively, my source is telling me, and I wouldn't bring this to you. I wouldn't risk the, what is it, 92%? We have a 92% Vash, or is it 93? I don't remember now. Anyway, whatever it is.
High.
It's high. Folks, it's all the Marvels. It's all the Marvels. All three of them.
You mean we're playing for all the Marvels in this movie?
All the Marvels are on the board, Lou, to continue that, is what I'm hearing. They're going to be in the Avengers. And guys, I'm just saying, I don't see how they can fit all these people in there. I don't see how the budget can work. I get that Brie Larson is going to be expensive because she's not going to do it unless she gets paid. But at the same time, I don't know that she should be paid because I don't think she brings in an audience. Guys, what do you think about this this rumor that we're getting now from a source close to the deal who says all three of them are going to be in the Avengers movies? Is it shocking? Is it not? And does it show that the MCU is moving apace?
Would it really be a stretch for Kamala Khan to be in the MCU?
I would take Iman Vellani. And I know it's a joke, but to be serious, like I would rather have Iman Vellani and not the other two. I'd be fine with that. I'm good with Miss Marvel being there. And don't give me, wait, did I get that right? Captain, I'm good with Miss Marvel. This is so dumb that they have such similar names. I'm good with having Miss Marvel and not Captain Marvel. And then what is the other one's name? Photon? Is that her name? What is her name?
Yeah, it's Photon.
It's Photon.
Not captain photon. Everybody's a captain in this army. I tell
They need
you.
a sergeant photon.
Yeah. On the other hand, Major Marvel has a nice ring to it, so as opposed to Minor Marvel, which is Brie. I don't know.
I've heard great things about Amon, and I would not be opposed to her being included in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and all that. But look, I think we were saying it before the show as well, that, they don't have a deep roster here. So instead of really great quality pictures, they have more volume, if that makes at all sense. So
let me add something real quick, Vash. I know I took too much time and I'm interrupting you already, but just so you understand, what I'm hearing is that the reason they're doing this, the reason we might be getting like the entire roster of the Marvels plus other women, is because if you go back and you look at the full list of names they announced and the chairs and everything, it is heavily skewed to dudes. And I'm hearing that they couldn't put the Marvels on that list because all of a sudden people would be outraged and like, I'm never going to see it. But they also, according to Disney's own quotas and things that were in place, like they got to have women. So what are you going to do? All right, Vash, go ahead.
Yeah, I think they do have to have women included here. And to be honest, I mean, I don't mind a diverse cast, not one bit. But the problem is the quality of the superheroes actually chosen. I don't think anybody really embraced the Marvels at all at the box office. I mean, that could be reflected.
I'll put it back up on the screen. Yeah, it looks like the only movie it's going to beat is Snow White in terms of bad Disney films.
Oh man, that's rough right there. That's tough. But that's the thing, right? So nobody embraced these characters. It's like, okay, yeah, you want to go ahead and include women, but I don't know if people necessarily want these women. And that's not to say anything about their gender. It's just the quality of these superheroes is just not going to necessarily get a lot of people in seats. And by the way, it might actually detract from that goal if you look at the history of Brie Larson and everything else. So I don't know. I really don't know what the strategy is for Marvel long term here. It doesn't really feel like these movies are necessarily going anywhere. Perhaps we'll see with this this final phase as it kind of ties more into Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, whether or not they can build that momentum again. But I think a lot of people are just kind of tuned out, and I don't think the Marvels is really going to get them in theaters.
I'll tell you this. One of the things that I'm paying attention to is we're trying to get confirmation on Tatiana Maslany. We have reported in the past that She-Hulk is featured in concept art and was part of the development process. We've reported that on the channel. I cannot yet fully confirm that Tatiana Maslany is signed on for the Marvels. We try to get, we try to be on the scoops and all of that. But my sources tell me that all the Marvels, right, these three women, Brie Larson and the other two, that they're going to be in the movie. I can't yet say that Tatiana Maslany for sure is going to be there, but I can tell you that it looks like from things that have been, well, I'll stop there. It looks like Tatiana Maslany was conceptualized to be in the movie, that she was part of the draft that the Russo brothers have come up with. And I can't figure out what they're up to. I don't think they've learned any lessons yet.
I wonder if, because, I mean, there's a way to throw her in, and it's just have her as part of the cleanup crew, representing the Avengers as their lawyer with Matt Murdock for some reason, and then you pass them through.
I feel sorry for this guy in this costume that Vash has put up on the screen. That looks like a very uncomfortable and very hot. And I don't mean hot in like an alluring way. I'm talking about like temperature wise. That
chafing is the word you're looking for. Chafing.
Yes. The chafing. No, not the chafing.
Yeah,
he's also walking
a chafing dish.
He's also got the wrong swagger. I'm not gonna lie.
Wrong swag.
It's just.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Well, I went ahead and brought up that clip right there because, I mean, you can see the general interest from everybody around him. It's like, okay, it's the modern version of Captain America on screen right there. But when you have like Steve Rogers come out, then the crowds start to form. And that's not to say anything about race, but it is more about the quality of characters in these most recent phases and how people are, vastly disinterested in them, or at least generally they are. Go ahead, Lou.
Well, all I was going to say is you can be in the movie and not really in the movie, by which I mean your character and your powers are not particularly germane to whatever the plot is. You're just in the big everybody gets together and fight scene at the very end. Like we saw with everybody in the big fight scenes at the end of the climactic movies
Endgame
so far. But, on the other hand, for that day or 3 or 12 of blue screen work to be in that crowd, I don't know how you can afford Brie Larson for just that.
Because I don't know how they could afford any of them, because if we look at how much money any Avengers or Marvel movie has brought out, like there's none that have really shown that they can actually sustain a budget that large. Like that, this is the issue. Like, look at all those actors. Like, it was mentioned in the comments by somebody in there in the chat. But like the fact that they have this many actors,
I guarantee you can make a whole movie for what they're paying Downey.
Well, okay, so there's a great point, Lou. If they're paying Downey $8 million, okay,
Bull,
and that's
bull, more, much more, big chunks, big pieces, up front.
Yeah.
Okay, so take that big number. Good Lord. Take whatever number it is.
Villain.
Now you got to get women. You got to get women that have been in the MCU to be in the film. And what are these actresses going to do, Lou? They're going to come in there. They're going to say, "I'm not taking less than the man. So I want RDJ money." It's not going to work on many of them, but some of them.
And that's why they publish him at 8. So that's what they ask for when he's really getting a heck of a lot more. I'm telling you, he can't work that cheap.
Well, and that's the other thing too. A lot of these are multi-picture deals. So one of the reasons why they're bringing so many people into Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars is because they have multi-picture deals attached to a lot of these characters.
Are you thinking they're doing this to knock off contract obligations?
Steve,
I mean, potentially, but
are you suggesting they would bring in Captain Marvel so they can kill her? And
wait a minute. I mean, maybe it's possible. I mean, if she doesn't negotiate a contract, then there you go. But anybody who they have available, they're gonna bring into this fold. That's what I mean by volume rather than quality. Go ahead, Luke.
Remember when they asked her after the debacle? They said, "Well, are you going to come back and play the character again?" And she kind of said, "I don't know if anybody wants me to." Maybe the answer is, if they kill you, they want you to.
Is that a personal attack or something? Or?
I started this segment negative, and you all have completely reversed me, folks. This is very rare. Steve has opened my eyes to what might be happening here. If they're bringing if she's going to get Gamora, I am totally on board. Pay her whatever it takes.
Just get the contracts over with some of these characters. You can almost guarantee that is what is going on with at least some of them.
But here's the caveat, Steve. Steve, you came up with this idea. Steve, she's got to be Gamora in every form of the multiverse. All of them. All infinite numbers of Captain Marvels have to go through whatever black hole prism kind of thing takes her out.
Well, I mean, can't this be the whole thrust of the Doomsday story, where he's bringing together the multiverses? Because look at the cast. Look who's all coming in, right? So obviously the multiverse getting smushed into one is or at least, I mean, it should be the plan. Because my whole thing was, like, I thought that when the snap brought everyone back, that's how they were going to introduce mutants, right? Like, because that'd be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, mess with the DNA and all that. I want She-Hulk to ride on the back of Captain Marvel into whatever contraption they have to save the sacred timeline in a victorious self-sacrifice. And I want it to happen in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And then I'll sit back and enjoy and eat popcorn.
I mean, people do replay that portion of Endgame where Thanos gets one over on her. So that's
I wonder how much you could get paid just to be in the credits sequence that goes after the credits that tells you what's going to happen in the next one, but then get killed in it.
You need just like what is there to qualify to being in a film? What's the amount of screen time you need? Like, is it just a second or less? Like, is it just like you just need to flash? Like,
you don't have to be in it. They can cut you out. You still get a credit, right? If you came and worked lose that, that's correct.
Not necessarily a credit, but you certainly get a reputation.
You know who else has a reputation?
Seriously, I worked once on a show where they wanted to introduce a little boy to be the interest for the little girls that were part of the regular cast. And they hired this kid, and we shot an episode and a half. And they decided we didn't need him and said thanks a lot and cut him out of the show. It turned out, though, that he had a 9-episode play or pay deal where he got paid anyway, and he had come from 2 other shows where the same thing happened to him. And somebody said, oh, God, someday that kid, when he grows up, is going to go to a shrink. I said, at least he'll be able to afford it.
That's right. He'll get a
7 episodes of do-nothing pay in his pocket, so...
Well, somebody else who's got a reputation. I don't know about seeing a shrink, but folks, we're going to shrink down our panel in terms of the size of our squares. Lauren Connor is here. Lauren, how are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Lauren, we're doing
Convince
okay.
us, for God's sakes. That was pretty
Are you okay? You don't sound okay. Lauren.
No, I'm sorry. I'm also hearing my kid off in the other room.
Lauren, let me tell you what's going on.
That was
Okay,
amazing. That was amazing.
Lauren, prior to you coming on, we're doing an exclusive here. We're hearing that every one of the Marvels is going to be in these Avengers movies coming up. 2 Avengers movies. Okay. So I was against it. I was so negative about this. And then Steve opened my eyes. He converted me right here on the show. Lauren, thank you, Steve. Lauren, if they're bringing back Brie so that Captain Marvel can sacrifice herself in the first 5 minutes of the movie and maybe somehow also take She-Hulk with her, I'm all on board this rumor. What say you?
Well, I mean, my fear with the MCU is that I think it's just petered out. It's like I don't know how you resurrect the excitement in it. I would love to be excited for a new Marvel movie. I thought Marvel went really strong through the first 3 phases. And I actually think they did pretty good with the Spider-Man movies, too. I know there's a lot of people that don't like his portrayal as like Iron Boy, and I kind of get that. But everything that came after that besides Spider-Man, I guess Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was okay, but I don't think that it really lived up to the first one, and I don't think the second one lived up to the first one either. There were a few that weren't real great. There was Iron Man 3 I didn't like. I didn't like Thor 2, The Dark World. But other than that, I thought most of the others were pretty great. And I'd like to get back to that quality. I just don't think anybody cares anymore. And that's the sad thing about it. I honestly think I'm going to give the same advice that I'd give Lucasfilm. You need to go dormant for a while. You just need to go away and you need to reboot. And I don't know how you reboot because you perfectly cast Iron Man and Thor and Doctor Strange and Black Widow and Captain America. I mean, these really are iconic roles for these actors. Those kind of actors, and leaving aside the real world stuff about them, when they're portraying their characters accurately and putting their heart into it, that level of quality doesn't just come around every day. And I feel that there's a dearth of talent in Hollywood right now. You may have to start building up a whole new roster of young unknowns and testing them in small indie projects and seeing who's got chops. It's going to take you a while to rebuild, but you're going to have to, because I think that you can't make anything out of the wreckage you got now.
It's been said so many times by so many different people, but going ground level is the only way to do it. You gotta like bring everything back, isolate the heroes to their own circumstances. And that's why, like, if Marvel had any sense, Doctor Doom would just destroy the universe and win. But what would happen is at the very end of the movie, the end credits scene would be some form of a splinter, some form of some shining little light. It was like a seed, and that seed is now planted. And out of that seed, you can begin the new start, right? And it could just start with going back in time, and it's going back to just being a Captain America movie. It could be going into like telling a real Namor story. It could be building off of a real Black Panther. Like, that's my thoughts, but it would have to be so localized and small, not Daredevil. Like, I'm not saying like just street fights. I mean, like, go back to their individual stories for a bit.
Well, normally I would agree with you, but I think, no, you can't even do the coda, because I can't miss you if you're not gone. If you give me the hint that there's something that's going to be coming back, It's like I'm just going to roll my eyes and go, here we go again. You
But we
need
haven't
to
But we haven't seen Captain America since 2021. Like right, if we're gonna be honest, right? We haven't seen Cap since he was in the one scene in Spider-Man.
Wait a minute. I'm writing this down. How long did you say it had been since we saw Captain Marvel?
Captain America.
Oh, Captain America. Okay.
Right.
Steve Rogers, you mean?
Yeah. And so that's, I think the last time we saw him was about 2021, right? For No Way Home. Because he was just in the little, was that one, right? Where he was just in the so your teacher's telling you, like, whatever one that was. That's the last time we've really seen Captain America. So you could like within 3 years have had enough time from Captain America. Because that's like 8 years.
Look, we've had, I mean, if you want to go to the real start of the MCU, we're going back to 2008, you know?
Yeah.
They've been doing this for 17 years straight. Give us some breathing room. I think comic book movies as a whole, I hate to say this, they got to go away. They have to go away, and they need to go away for a good 5 to 10 years. Let us miss you. And honestly, let us rediscover a love of comics. Let's get the ideologues that are in there that are trashing the comics. Let's get them out. In fact, let's have Marvel and DC just clean house, stop producing anything internally, license it out to third parties. Same thing that I would recommend for Lucasfilm. They need to do the same thing with Star Wars. Give it to people who get what made this, who are passionate about it, and let's start over.
Dare I make a comparison by saying that people who you think should be able to do Captain America can't because they're too busy destroying the rivers of America.
Or hear me out. What if we did the opposite and we put 3 of the most unpopular characters along with She-Hulk in the movie and we bloated this thing to the absolute max so that our very favoriteest characters get like 10 minutes of screen time, but we're diverse and we have equal parity between men and women, although we cannot identify either of those things. What if we did that?
I think you're onto something.
Not at these prices.
I've been learning from
by which I mean nobody's going to pay $20 a ticket, which is what it'll be by the time this shows up, to watch 10 minutes of the guy they like versus the 43 they could care less about.
Lou, is it the most expensive movie ever made if they have all these people and all of them are taking the kind of salaries you would expect?
I don't know, because, you know, some of them have pre-existing deals where if they're in the next one, they get X. And this is a Gordian knot of contract stuff. And if it is, it's bad.
I'm going to throw it out that Endgame is the highest. It'll maintain the highest because they know that the steam is gone from all of their movies. They know that. And when you look at the original X-Men and all that kind of stuff, while these guys are actors of pedigree, they're only going to be in the movie for 2 minutes. So while they might get millions.
Yeah, unless the movie's like 8 hours long, that's all they can be in it for. There isn't enough time left in the movie for all these.
So you're not going to see major roles. Sorry, Vash, go ahead.
No. Well, the Russo brothers literally laid it out. They said they put the names of the actors with their characters on baseball cards. On the back, they had their multi-picture contract deals, and that's how they were divvying up who was actually going to be included in Avengers Doomsday. And so I think it's more about, you know, whether or not you made a deal before rather than making a deal now, or whether or not you'll be in this film. It's just. That's just kind of the state that they're in, and they're not looking to make this the most expensive picture ever made. They're looking to make this the most probably financially feasible movie ever made, given the lack of. Well, I mean, if you have multi-picture deals, that's what they're looking at.
Assuming there's an audience for multi. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, guys. It has yet to be proven that Wicked 2 will do any business.
What if all of this is just back-end deals and there's not really much up front? Especially for
I think Robert Downey Jr. is like the only big name. Other than that, I think everybody has multi-picture deals.
He's the only name that sells tickets.
No,
he's the only one.
I'm going to disagree, and I love you, Vash, but Patrick Stewart's not hanging on to a multi...
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
X-Men being the big people that that aren't attached to multi-picture deals. Everybody else probably you have multi-picture deals attached to them.
Folks, you're going to get a Hugh Jackman announcement. You're going to get a Tom Holland announcement. You're going to get Chris Pratt. You're going to get all of them. But the Marvels, that's what's, well, for some people going to be shocking. And we're working on, although we cannot yet say that we have confidence in, Tatiana Maslany coming back as She-Hulk. But we're hearing rumor and speculation that the Marvels, all three of them, well, they're bringing their box office success to an Avengers movie near you. Often as we get ready to wrap these up, folks, you'll hear us say, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun. And the reason we do it is because we appreciate you. It's true, we do. And we want you to have a good time. Thank you for giving us the great time of spending time with you. Folks, on the way out the door, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it and stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell, and drop a comment down below because you matter. Your thoughts matter. Who cares what the legacy corporate deadbeat media tells you? You really are important. And we're a testament to that. We wouldn't be here without folks just like you. And since we've said it, we'll say it once more. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
Right. So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. I mean, she's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... Okay, call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.